So before I get into this, other half of the video, the basis of it is that many people struggle with mental health issues, and it is based from, how they were treated, as a child. Even, the state of many people's psyche these days. And when, justice was needed, and honor of one's right and feelings, emotion, existence, when those things are, devalued, I would say, when those things seem not as important to the people surrounding an individual, it can trigger many dysfunction in one's psyche, in a person's mind. We are responsible for ourselves, our actions, and we must see how it deeply impacts others and ourselves. And I've struggled with my mental health due to, my relations, social relations, whether it's relationships or friendships. Yeah, because of, the things people do. And even the things that I choose to do, it's because of how I was treated as a child. And I have decided to not let that be a product of my life. So this is food for the thought, to think. And in the second half, I said that, we must have trust and respect. It might sound a bit vague, yeah, but what's the sense in being in connection with a person, and you don't have those things in your foundation? What's the sense of being in a person's life and you don't have trust and respect for them, and they don't reciprocate it as well, So tune in. So yeah, it's a part 2, practicing integrity. So yeah, I just yet to realize, say, just be yourself, man, cause I don't care, cause I never really care what people think, and some people always phantom that I don't care, and they would try to use gossip, to get me to care, but I end up like just moving on with my life anyway, But yeah, and even with the mentor, let's call her Miss Watson. No, Miss Watson is fucking delusional. She an anti-natural. They can't leave me alone. They hate the fact that I saw their mask slip. Because this woman, she tried to convince me that she's straight, but tried to come on to me in some sneaking way and trying to play it off. And then when I don't agree to none of your advances, you try, your very best to just destroy my fucking life. You try. You try. And I get to find out that Miss Watson recently started, to so-called mentor 2 teenage girls. But I know her for who she is. She is a pervert. She an anti-natural. Like, you can't trust them. And how I see anti-natural use my traumas against me, knowing that I have even been sexually abused, I noticed that he takes on to females that have that trauma, especially the little girls, the younger girls, And he says that he wants to help them, but no, he doesn't. Because it's one thing I learn about, people like that. They're very vampiric. They feed off people's insecurities and traumas, And they care very much what people think about them. They have this image that they have to protect. But yeah, Miss Watson, yeah, you better leave them little girls alone, because I know them and I see that they're very precious, very kind young women, very bright future. Brilliant, I'm telling you. And I use my aggression towards bullies. I don't like bullies. I bully the bully. Yeah. And those people are fucking bullies. Trust me. They prey on the weak and act like they want to help. I hate the idea of helping someone and pushing the camera into their face to record it. That is not integrity. And a lot of people like to do that. They like to show off all the good that they are doing. But behind closed door, it's a different thing. Yeah, just know that. Because if you're doing good, you're just doing it. It's from the goodness of your heart, not your mind. You just feel like to move. It's right then and there at the moment. That action is to be done and you're just doing it, But yeah. So, let's get into the definition of integrity. Integrity is defined as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change. It involves a consistent and uncompromising adherence to ethical values and is often regarded as a measure of one's character. In essence, integrity signifies incorruptibility and truthfulness in one's action. Now, I realize with some people, those 2 people especially, Miss Watson and anti-natural, they would make up some rules, they would talk about principles, but when it comes down to the T of doing it, yeah, it doesn't go that way for them. You know, it doesn't apply to them. The rules are for everyone else except for them, and that is not good leadership. That's not having integrity. Yeah. Only a few people can really hold themselves accountable. Yeah. And do what's right. Yeah. Without making their fear coming into the way, you know, their lust, their greed. You have some people that I respect in my community, you know. And those, you have some of them that I don't trust, and I wouldn't even want anybody else to trust them, especially with children. Yeah. I don't like that we are not proactive, you know, in protecting and honoring our children, you know, and the women as well. Because I've seen it so many times where mothers betray their daughters, you know, send their daughters out early, you know, to be in relation with men, or they find it so shameful that they allowed a male to come inside of their house, and all he did was to cause dishonor, yeah, and discomfort, dysfunction, because he can't control himself. Some of these women think that having teenage girls, teenage daughters, you're supposed to be out, you know, and letting males have all kind of access to your home and your child. You don't realize that you're putting your child in a risk, yeah? But you rather the validation of males. A lot of times me see it. And people want to act like they're good people, but if you just know the secrets that they hold, you know. If you just knew how some of them have some very jealous spirit and hateful heart towards people who don't even do anything to them. No. Having a male in your life is a curse. I never really saw them as something to be kept around. Yeah? Because one thing, when those niggas start to get stressed, you know, they don't have healthy ways of expressing it. Majority of them. And I've witnessed even my own family members, you know, how the males, how some of them deal with women. Yeah. Even the women in their family. Because you have a lot, when it comes to the brother-sister dynamics, you have a lot of brothers that don't want to see their sisters to do better than them. Or even anything at all. See, you know. and not just with sister and sister alone, you know. Because a lot of men are very jealous of women. They want to be women. Yeah, they want the benefits of it, of being a woman. And I realized that. And those men are very toxic. I wouldn't advise you to go around them, to even try to date them. Yeah. And it's best to know what those types of men look like, to stay away from them. Like, you know, distant yourself from those types of men. Because any man who like to use women, you know, they want women to take care of them. Those men, they're secret homosexuals. Just know that. But yeah, let's get to the other point. Creatively, redefine a structure within yourself and outside for your growth is a practice of integrity. Yeah. When I go around others, you know, there's certain principles that I follow. Yeah, there's certain boundaries I don't cross. And I've been around a lot of people, you know, as in like living dynamic. Yeah. And I've learned a lot. I've learned how to live with others. But me personally doing the work on myself, yeah, I rather to just isolate. Because it's just hard for me. I'm exhausted, honestly. Like, to deal with human beings, it's exhausting to deal with them, you know. Because I've seen so many people, yes, smile in my face, and they have showed me that, you know, if I need them, they're not gonna be there. But if they need me, I should be there. And that unrequited love, yeah, that is, you know, I'm done with all of that. I'm exhausted, you know. But yeah, so integrity is crucial for effective leadership, as it fosters trust, ethical decision making, and a strong organizational culture. The importance of integrity in leadership. Integrity is the foundation of effective leadership. Leaders who consistently demonstrate integrity earn the trust and respect of their team members and stakeholders. This trust is essential for effective communication and collaboration within organization, leading to improved team performance and morale. You see, people like to complain about, you know, minor stuff. But when it comes to standing up for real cause, like the safety of people, of others, yeah? Because when I remember even some incidents with policemen, right, killing their wives, and the wives would report it to the station and thing, but the response to that, to the reports of the wife, always just surprised me, because when the wives would report that, they are being threatened by their husbands, that so happen to be police officers, they shun them. And then when it happened, the response is always, I never knew that he would do it. I thought he wasn't serious. You see? And people are so ignorant to the nature of males. Yeah. And when you give them power, yeah, you can't trust them to be responsible with it. You see? Because, being in a relationship with anti-natural, the unfairness, because he would want me to do favors for him, right? He would ask simple questions like, can you do me a favor? And yes, I would reply. But if I should ask, can I do you a favor? He would be like, it depends. So, people like that always wonder why people don't stay around them, why nobody wants to be in their life, but they don't see that they're a fucking piece of shit, He doesn't see that he's a complete douchebag. Like the way he treats people and think that he should be over them and controlling them like a fucking bitch. Yeah. And yo, like in the second video I made, I got passionate and called him a batty boy, and like people would think that I am just being disrespectful, but they don't know that this nigga is actually one of those people. Like, it's insane, like the way how this bro act. And he wants women to submit. He would want a powerful woman like me to submit. Like I am unconquerable. Yeah, I'm not a conformist. Raw feminine. Yeah, I have too much integrity, because I realize this man stands for nothing. Yeah, as long as you have money, he's ready to be your friend. What kind of people that? And that's how I notice with a lot of people around in this country, Jamaica as well. Yeah, they stand for nothing. As long as the money is good. Yeah, I talk my truth and I sleep good at night. Yeah. Now if I was foolish and I decided to play the game that Miss Watson wanted me to play, yeah, because even though I have experimented with women, I don't allow myself to be seduced. Seeing? I don't seek to have sexual rendezvous with people, to manipulate others, yeah, because in those lesbian dynamics, hello, no, Yeah, it's just like the heterosexual, sorry about that. It's just like the heterosexual dynamic, it's like one being more dominant than the other, and nothing is wrong with dominance, but when you seek to control a next person because you think they're probably weaker or whatever, more vulnerable, it shows the type of character you have. You see? And I see that this woman, she tries to hide, but I am so very, very observant. See, I'm so observant. Like, man, hypocrites fear me, But yeah, let's continue. So integrity promotes a culture where ethical behavior is the norm, encouraging everyone with the organization to also act with fairness and honesty. Most people are not fair. Because some people will even, condemn others until it's somebody closer to them, like a family member, Then they want to hold the condemnation, if that's even a word, But anyway, I'm not liked by even family because I just talk the truth, Yeah, I just have to just talk the truth because I like to be free. I like to be pure, And I can even talk about an incident where my mom's eldest, son right now, the second eldest son, he is very irresponsible, because he got married, cheated, the side chick snitched on him, and it fucked up the whole operation that he was trying to, keep together. And in the mix of that operation being fucked up, he was trying to involve everybody in the family, to defend him and to paint it like he's a good person, and trying to get the wife to to prolong with the operation, whatever it want to be. So me not wanting to be a part of that, made that nigga angry, and that is where he started to disrespect me. But I'm looking at the fact that when I needed this male to defend me when I was going through my sexual abuse and all of that, he never cared, And now you cheated on your wife and you want me to defend you. That don't make sense to me. But them fuck up, I'ma just leave them alone. So when I was sleeping one rising, and he took my phone and use it to send this spam message to the wife, And I got upset and I'm like, yo, don't involve me in your bullshit, you see? And my mom and everybody else was, they were enabling him at some point. So it prolonged that him start to carry feelings till him disrespect me one day, and me decide say, alright, you're gonna disrespect me. So the number was still in my phone, with the message that he sent. So I sent another message to alert her that, he's lying to you. You see? And I even warned her and tell her, you should just leave him alone, because he's gonna drag you through the mud and all of that shit. So she ended up sending a screenshot with that message to him, and he got even more upset, So it ended up prolong, get upset, him fling stone on me, get bruised. Yeah. And I did witness him drag her ass through the mud. You see? So she got what she fucking deserved, because she never want to take a heed to what I was saying. And him operation fuck up too. And many of them came down on me to, say that I'm wrong for what I did, but I didn't care. They never say that he was in the wrong for what he did, you see. But they're all narcissists anyway. So I did my grievings, and I let go and just realize who they are, and just just leave it alone, because one thing with them tables, not only do they turn, they get flipped the fuck over too, So yeah, they're gonna turn and they're gonna get flipped. And I am always a witness for that. But yeah. So with the next pointer, beautiful breeze. Integrity is a cornerstone of effective leadership that, I read this already. Yeah. Good intentions and proactive actions have to be met with the practice of integrity. You see? Most people will never have good business because they don't have integrity. Because honest work pays. Never forget that. It does. Yeah. Because will, persistent and merit go hand in hand. When a worker is ready, the work appears. And all good worker knows when to rest. Because it is the quality of the work that is essential. So you never have to overdo it. You never have to manipulate others, to do anything. Because the work speaks for itself. Yeah, doing honest and thorough work is a practice of integrity. See? So, with honor now. To honor something is to, is the quality of knowing and doing what is morally right. And the Bible always say, must honor your mother and your father, and your days shall be long. But Many of us parents have failed us. And but in one way to really honor them though is to be a better person, you know, than who they were truly. Yeah. Because what they have given us, their DNA, yeah, we should take it and advance with it, you know. And that's how even generational curse breakers come in hand. And I truly believe, say, you know, those who speak the truth, you know, in their family, you should hold a lot of these family members accountable for the things they have done. Yeah. Don't be afraid to bring it up, because a lot of them want to have amnesia. They want to forget. You see, but they want to continue with the same stupidity, the same errors. And that is one way, is to just hold up a mirror to them. We are the mirrors for this society, for our families, for them to see what's the issue, you know, what they need to work on, truly. And I'm not here to save anybody, you know. I'm not trying to be a lord or a savior to anybody, more than to just be good, you know, because there's so many darkness around, and it's just so icky, you know, so nasty if you even want to dwell in that low vibration. And I just want to just live, you know, have peace, have joy. And nothing ain't wrong if that is what I project onto the world as well, you know. With peace, with joy, with love. And even though in my state I'm exhausted, you know, to deal with humans, my intentions, you know, are still pure. Yeah. This platform is an open conversation kind of platform, you know, open mind, open heart. I'm here to talk about everything, you know. And I feel like it's a trap when they say that only God can judge. We should have good judgment. Because if you can't see things for what it is, you know, you can never really truly do anything about it. You see? We must have trust and respect, you know. Integrity builds credibility, allowing leaders to maintain our authority, which is essential for influencing and motivating team members. You know, I call myself a leader not because I lead people, but I don't have a problem with taking the first step and showing others, guiding others, you know, on their own individual journey as well. I'm not a gatekeeper. Yeah. But I know where I stand, and If I have to stand alone for the right things, stand alone because of the truth that I speak, I don't have a problem with that. And yeah, most of all, I know it is best to be honest with others, but it's even essential to be honest with yourself. Yeah, hold yourself accountable. I hope this was insightful, and it encouraged you to just live your life, because everybody have all kind of things to say, but is who really saying the right things, the truth, especially, and allow your heart to follow your truth, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. Yeah, I mean, it will hurt, people who don't align with it, but you not going outside to project that onto others. From you not doing that, just live your life. Yeah. They like to say that, oh, people like me come from the devil, or but we all came from women. And if it's anything, women should just be careful who they allow to come into their space. Yeah. The type of seeds they choose to nurture and to manifest. Yeah, we must be careful of the males we choose. Yeah. To have babies with. Because a lot of these men, their psyche is messed up. Yeah, and just be more conscious, it's necessary. And that is just my encouragement. For now. But yeah, take care.